Let's look at some basic supplies for gift wrap. Of course, we're going to have our wrapping paper on the left. Then I have 3 different types of tape. I have a clear transparent tape that we would normally call Scotch tape. Then I have this tape, which we used to call magic tape. Sometimes it disappears and you can't see it, and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see when there are good times to use it. And then I have 2 different kinds of double-sided tape, or sometimes it's called double stick tape. Of course, a good pair of scissors. So that's for the wrapping paper part. Now let's look at what I use for bows. What I really like is, and I'm going to reposition so you can see, I like the satin ribbon that you can get at your florist because it's the cheapest kind of ribbon you can get. This is cheaper, well, less expensive than what you could find at a craft store, just because when you buy the entire bolt, there's 100 yards on a bolt. I order it from a florist. What you want to do is check with 2 or 3 florists in your area and see who you want to work with. Some are going to be more open to working with you than others. You can buy it by the yard, and when you buy it by the yard, it's only going to be about between 10 cents and 20 cents. This wider ribbon, in the industry, it's called number 9. That's just what they call it for the width. So this is typically going to be 20 cents per yard or $15 to $20 for a bolt. And then the smaller size is called number 3. These are the 2 sizes that are normally used. Number 3 per yard, you're going to pay about 10 cents a yard. And by the bolt, it'll be a little less than the number 9. So the number 3 will maybe be between $12 and $15 for a bolt. You'll want to go in, and they'll usually have a chart at the florist that they get from their florist supplier that shows the colors. You definitely want to get red and green, and you want to order the red sometime between, say, March and October, because they'll get a run on it after October through Valentine's Day. Green comes in 2 different greens, holiday green and hunter green. The other thing you're going to use is wire. Now, I also get the wire from the florist. I have 2 different sizes here. My florist typically carries these 2. The thicker one is, they think it's 22 gauge, and they think the thinner one is 26 gauge. So the higher the number, the thinner the wire. I suggest that you buy the thinner wire from them first and play with it. Some florists will have more than 2 different sizes, different gauges of wire. They charge me about 2 cents per wire. And just buy a couple dozen because you're going to be playing with it. The thicker wire is harder to work with in the beginning, but you'll want it later for working with bows that have lots and lots of loops. You'll also need a pair of wire cutters. These, you can just get these at the hardware store. I like this size. Some people get them. They also have a needle nose pliers in them, but I don't know. I don't think that's really necessary. And I have 2 or 3 of these. Then when we get into more advanced bows, you'll want some floral tape. You can also get this at the florist. You can see I'm low on green. I use green a lot. This is brown. I also have it in white. And those 3 colors are good to have, and you'll want to use this when you're making a big bow because it's a lot easier to deal with. Some people, instead of using this kind of floral wire from the florist, will use pipe cleaners. And pipe cleaners are okay with a bigger bow. So how do I store all this? So I wanted to show you how I do this. And I have 2 bins that I got at Container Store. And they have handles on them. And if you can see inside this one, I also have a clear plastic bin right here where I store all the scissors and all of the wire cutters. And then they store vertically very nicely. And then last, I just want to show you how I store the roll wrap. My house does not have a basement, so I'm very limited in how I can store things. So I store the roll wrap in one of these tall bins. I think I got this at Container Store as well. And this one is just in a guest closet. It has all of my roll wrap. And then in the garage, I have another one that holds all my Christmas roll wrap. And that particular roll wrap container has a thing on the top. Actually, I'm going to show it to you so I can show you how I store some extra little Christmas things. My Christmas roll wrap container is in the garage, and it has a flap on the top that flips up, and then I can keep all the stickers and little labels in the top. So that's really convenient. And also inside the bin, I also put some Christmas themed gift bags down the side. And so I only need to get to it once a year. So if you have a basement or a closet that's really deep, you can put all your Christmas roll wrap into one of these and just stick it in the back and bring it out once a year when you need it. Here is another storage idea I found in Better Homes and Gardens magazine. I tore out this sheet so I could show this to you. On the back of a door, they put one of those door hanging things over the door racks that are designed to store cans and boxes in a pantry. So in the bottom, they've got some gift bags. Then they have their roll wrap, and it's hard to tell what they secured it with here. It looks like a very large rubber band, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. Then they've got some tissue paper hanging over one of the edges. They've got some clear containers in here holding some things like the scissors. They've got ribbon, spools of ribbon here, and then some jars holding some things. Now, for me, this wouldn't work because the closet doors in my home are folding doors. I only have one door that's like this other than bedroom doors, and there's already something on the other side. Also, I have so much. I have a lot more roll wrap than this, and I have a lot more ribbon than this. But if you're just starting out, this is a great idea. In fact, you wouldn't even really need these jars. You could use that for more ribbon. And with one container, you could put all of your scissors and your wire cutters. You could store your wire in some kind of a tall plastic container vertically, and just get your roll wrap in here and your bags. I store my tissue paper and my wire in a box that's in the same closet as my roll wrap. So it's not the best, but you saw I'm limited on space, and I can't do this. I put my gift bags in another very long and narrow container that I got from the Container Store, and I put it into a cabinet that's above my washing machine in my laundry room. So they're all stuffed in there, and that's just really the only place that they fit for me. But this is a great idea when you're just starting out and you have a handful of colors of ribbon that coordinate with maybe 10 different rolls of roll wrap.